appreciate you guys being a part of the movement. This is not about me. This is not about Evan. This is not about our team. This is about the brotherhood. This is about
So you had to go put on your fucking vest and cummerbund and pose like you were a positive image for black men while you're...
Jesus.
I thought it was just a whole bunch of niggas in line for brunch. Like, I didn't get that this was a positive image. Everyone had the brunch shoes on, the little pointed toe, shiny shoes. And to me, a suit, not all of them also had suit. Like, it was giving blazers, not tuxedos.
Just shaming language.
I guess I just don't understand why black men knowing what Burlington Coat Factory is means it's a positive image.
Here we go. Shaming language. And this is coming from her. And I already told you guys, and I'm being as nice as possible, I am never impressed by the caliber of women that get on these spaces and talk mess about black men. Never impressed.
I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.
All right, so since we're talking about suits, you guys seen the post on the community section, and a lot of people were asking, what? How can you be offended with black men wearing suits? Trust me, I didn't know that was possible. I honestly didn't. And there's a reason why I'm covering this video, is because of the fact that it's not because I'm trying to dunk on black women, but I just want men to understand what you're dealing with. And I also want some proof out there that you guys can point to when somebody attacks black men. And this is not me saying you need to be worried about how black women feel in regards to what black men are doing. We're going to do what we do regardless. If we want to wear suits, it is what it is. However, it just goes to show you how messed up the black community is. Because if you look at an image of young boys from 7 all the way up to older men that are sitting in a line and they're doing a Dallas meetup, and they're all wearing suits.
Hey, but I think I'm liking her more. She does the things I never asked for. No more. Baby, you can touch and feel, just don't get in the way. But I think I'm liking her more. She does the things I never asked for. No more. Baby, you can touch and feel, just don't get in the way.
You would never think that you would find something negative about this image, the black male ethnic image of wearing suits. From what I see, this conversation has been going on for about 2 weeks. But like I said, I was at work and I really don't get a chance to review these things like I want to. However, when I saw this, and it was crazy. And I felt that it was necessary that we talk about this. And hopefully you guys will understand why I'm in these spaces for the black male ethnic image. And because of this reason. So I would never thought that black women would have an issue with black men wearing suits, but they found one. And these young women on the See the Thing Is podcast, they kind of put everything into perspective as to why they don't like seeing black men in suits. So without further ado, let's see this foolery.
Girl,
What we get into first?
we need to address.
Which one? Because there's 3 topics.
We need to
here. Talk
address
to me.
we need to address the wolves in sheep's clothing.
Which one?
So they're calling it the wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what they're calling black men in suits. And remember, it was kids out there too. So let's continue.
Positive image for black men, because
Okay.
this has been retweeted, quoted, reposted.
So much on the goddamn.
And y'all are annoying as fuck. Y'all are annoying with this.
So the problem is, and I saw so many things. I saw One lady talk about, I thought this was great until my homegirl said her baby daddy was a part of this troll and wouldn't take her kid to the doctor, so she had to get off work early to go get us. Like,
okay, so stop right there. So some girl, I guess, went on Twitter and lied and said that her friend said that she saw her baby daddy out there wearing a suit, and he decided to do that instead of picking up his kids. And they ran with that narrative, thinking that that's all the black men out there, or that story was actually true. It was probably false. They're just trying to throw shade. I just learned that word. Shade on black men. It is what it is, but that's what she's talking about. So let's continue.
Wouldn't make a goddamn doctor's appointment for their kid because he had to go put his suit on and stand in a line with some other niggas.
So you had to go put on your fucking vest and cummerbund and pose like you were a positive image for black men while you're...
Jesus. I who would have thought? Let's continue.
Not taking care of your kids.
My problem was, when I first saw this, I thought it was just a whole bunch of niggas in line for brunch. Like, I didn't get that this was a positive image. I thought this was one of them little, everyone had the brunch shoes on, the little pointed toe, shiny shoes. And to me, a suit, not all of them also had suit. Like, it was giving blazers, not tuxedos.
Just shaming language. Why do they? Let's continue.
Or not even like suits that you would wear in court. I don't know. Look at me in court.
No, they were nice. Everybody was dressed well.
The problem was they associated a man in a suit as being a positive reinforcement for young black men. And again, talking earlier about the fact that conversations aren't being had with young kids regarding rejection, seeing that so many women, peers, celebrities included, are being left to be single moms. We've shared videos on here where men aren't accountable for how many kids they're creating.
Now you guys understand why I'm in these spaces? You hear what she said? That narrative is still being pushed in the black community. Keep in mind, we did a review on these young women. Both of them are mixed race. They're interracial kids, right? I think they both have black dads and white moms.
Yeah, that's how we all got here. A white woman and a black man.
That's how we all got here. A white woman and a black man.
So this is why that I'm in these spaces, because these narratives are continuously pushed about black men. They are under the impression that all black men are out here just creating all these babies, when we all know that we just debunked this. I spent damn near 2 weeks debunking all that stuff in regards to black men being deadbeats. We already know that 54% of black men don't have kids, and then half of the black men that do have kids, and that's being very generous, they're in their children's lives, as reported by the CDC and various outlets, when they fail to mention or understand that 61% of black women have children. There are 4 million more black mothers than black fathers, 61 to 46%, right? So this is why I'm in these spaces, and you guys hear me reiterate these talking points over and over again, because every time there's a black woman that has some hate that's directed towards black men, the first thing that they cite is the deadbeat dad narrative, or they talk about black men not being good fathers. That is their go-to. So the more that I push statistical data explaining what the truth is, the more we can stop these conversations from being had. Let's continue.
Because it's the woman's fault for keeping it, since we have a choice. It's just really strange to me what we now view as a positive reinforcement or a positive image to the young generation. The idea of just putting on a suit, we are sitting here witnessing a RICO case where goddamn Young Thug and everybody from YSL are constantly in suits. We sat here and saw YNW Melly, who killed his friend, got off, but was in a suit every time we saw him in court.
Also, the man that
she's correlating the two, the rappers on trial right now and wearing suits, and the guys that were in Dallas doing their meetup wearing suits. She's saying that's the same thing. That's insane to me. Like, I'm learning a lot, and that's why I'm bringing this to the forefront so you guys can learn as well. It's not to sit here and just why you care about what black women think. No, I want people like the pro-black community. I tend to have most of the issues with those guys, the quote-unquote Hotep guys, because they feel that I'm pushing a narrative that is against black love. It's not. I'm pushing the narrative of being logical. And I want them to see these videos as well, because every time they have these conversations about Queen Mother Goddess and black women don't do this and black women don't do that, and you don't know why black men are just deciding to go overseas to find different women, or they're just not trying to date black women altogether, you guys will understand where these black men are coming from. Because if they don't see these videos, because for some odd reason, every time they have these talking points, they can't point to anything that's being said about black men on these channels. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm reviewing this type of content, because I want this to be known. I want people to understand what black men are going through in their own community. And this is not a conversation that I am willing to have with black women. I would like black women to have this conversation with black women. But the funny thing is, when you see women like this, you never see any women of prominence discussing it. They never sit there and say, hey, man, y'all doing too much. Leave them black men alone. And that lets me know that they are either for what these women are saying, or they just don't care enough to check them. So that's why I'm here. I'm not going to have this conversation with black women. I'm not going to sit there and tell them that they don't have a right to talk about black men in suits. They have every right to do that. But don't think that I'm not going to highlight it so I can educate the black community on what black men are facing from our own women, mind you. Let's continue.
Bernie Smollett cheated on her husband with in that Tyler Perry movie, also had on a suit the whole.
And they're also referencing movies. Here we go.
Time, and he gave her HIV.
Well, shit. There was a businessman in the other Tyler Perry movie where he ended up doing her wrong and kicking her out for the white girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she fell in love with the bus driver.
Yes, and he also wore suits.
He wore a suit every time.
So they're saying, hey, if you wear a suit, you're gonna be just like the guys in the Tyler Perry movie. So it don't matter. Lord, like I said, I'm learning a lot about social media. And they were dead serious about this. Like, there was no joking or nothing. So let's continue.
So to me, I think that's the problem, right?
So now we all need
now
to be
you're a good man.
Now we all need to go date the good men that are bus drivers. Is that what's happening now?
Now a man in a suit is viewed as a good example or a good man, and to me, I don't know.
I
want
buy
more conversations being had with young black men. I want more ways in which we can reinforce good examples of black men for younger black youth.
Yeah.
So let me say this. Black women have no right to be sticking their nose in regards to what black men are doing. You guys are in a crisis. The least married, the most child deletions. I could go down the list, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. So the last of your worries need to be on what black men are doing. You guys need to be focusing on black women, because as I stated before, the black woman's ethnic image is piss poor. And it seems like nobody cares, especially black women. So you telling us what we need to be talking about in regards to black men, no. Your focus needs to be on black women, because y'all need the most help. Stop worrying about black men. We are not your concern anymore. Focus on black women.
And I think it still goes back to just being present in the home and really having conversations. The fact that we've had conversations about how we don't feel like men are holding their friends as adults accountable for being faithful in relationships, for showing up as fathers, for not raping or molesting or taking it.
You see how far this went? You see, this conversation that they're having stems from them seeing black men in suits. So talking about all this stuff, bringing this up when you just see black men in suits, this is absurd. And it's embarrassing.
Advantage of women. There's no accountability even being held amongst adult men. So again, for this to now be, ooh, let's all get in a suit and we're a great role model for the younger youth, I really think there needs to be a conversation with what that looks like. But again, I didn't want to make this a male bashing podcast.
Oh, she didn't want to make it a male bashing podcast. Oh, I think it's a little too late for that.
So I did want to ask you, what does it look like for we as women to be good role models or good representations or representatives or reinforcements for younger women? And I say that because I'm sure a lot of people be like, now, bitch, you on here cussing, talking about sucking dick. Are you a good reinforcement for the youth?
And that's the thing. This is the young lady from the Horrible Decisions podcast.
We at the goddamn jacuzzi. And if anyone has been to hedonism, the jacuzzi on the nude side is where everything motherfucking happens. We're here at the jacuzzi, and there's a bitch to my right sucking dick. There's another woman to my right getting head. We're drunk as fuck at this time. And finally, the nigga who was eating my toes, he hops in. He's all ready to goddamn. He's like, I just want to eat you out. And I'm just like, you know what? Fine. So I hop my ass up on the side of the goddamn jacuzzi, and I just lift my leg like so and just put his head in. I'm just like, okay, eat this. You know what? Then I hop up after that nigga was eating my ass, right? I slide over to my homegirl. I take her foot out of the water, and I start sucking on her toes. My homegirl. And I'm like, I ain't never sucked toes in my life. But then I felt like technically you only suck in chlorine because bitch, it's in a pool. So it's not like dirty feet or feet that just came out of a shoe. It's like, you suck in chlorine. This is cool. It tasted just like skin. So I was like, okay, this ain't too bad. I don't know if I...
So this woman is trying to shame black men for wearing suits and not being positive images. But her whole podcast shtick is about women having sex, being free. And this is not me saying this. I'm going to let her tell you. These are her definitions of a positive example for black women. And I hope there's black women ninja watching. And I hope there's black women in the comment section. You tell me, black men wearing suits are what she thinks black women should view as positive images. Listen to what she says.
And I'm not going to lie, the conversations that I now have on Horrible Decisions, who I show up as, I actually love that I am reinforcing you having autonomy of your own body.
Yes.
That's one. Autonomy over your own body. That's what she's pushing for black women. Here we go.
Making the choices that please you. Learning to self-pleasure yourself before thinking a man has to.
Learning to pleasure yourself. This is what she thinks is positivity for young black women. Yeah. Let's continue.
I sat here
and also learning the value of boundaries in every one of those instances.
Absolutely. Yes. But even boundaries within friendships, within those things, I think that, you know, even being a woman who is an entrepreneur and has talked about leaving corporate America and
telling young black women to become entrepreneurs, even though we know that black female entrepreneurs only make on average $24,000 annually. And only 2% of those businesses have any type of revenue that they achieve. So this is what she's promoting. Black women, you tell me if this is a better representation for your daughters, for your sisters. You tell me.
At one point, depending on men or thinking I needed men on a financial level when, you know, pulled up, you know, my own bootstraps and got to work and made it happen.
But listen to this woman. She comes on with the bonnet on. She's overweight. And this is what tends to happen. I could literally draw out an avatar of the type of black woman that's going to be pissed off at what black men are doing. So here, right, you see in the background, these are the black men that were lined up doing their Dallas meetup. She has something to say about it. Listen to her.
This Twitter that I'm sure you have seen this video. It's literally just a video of them going down a line of black men in suits, and the caption is black man in positive image. And when anyone is giving them pushback or asking about this picture, they're just saying we're being negative. But I just have a few questions. How many of these men are husbands or significant others? How many of these men are active fathers in their children's lives?
Why? Here we go.
If there is child support to be paid, is it current? Are these men active partners in their relationships? How are they positively influencing their local community? Are they holding men around them accountable who do not do the things that I just said? Because it's not enough for you to be the type of man that lives up to the societal image of what a positive black man is. But if you entertain men who are not that way, you're just as big of a problem, especially if you don't call them out. I guess I just don't understand why black men knowing what Burlington Coat Factory is means it's a positive image.
Here we go. Shame and language. And this is coming from her. And I already told you guys, and I'm being as nice as possible, I am never impressed by the caliber of women that get on these spaces and talk mess about black men. Never impressed. And she is a prime example of that. Hey, it is what it is. This is just embarrassing.
But okay, all right.
All right, so this is the outlet that did the meetup, right? If you guys don't know, it's called Black Menswear. They have 432,000 followers on Instagram, and they have a significant amount of followers on other platforms as well. They have sponsorships with NASCAR, all types of different, notable places. They do a lot for Black men and typically, in the Black community. So this is the response to somebody hating on them. They're saying, love, bro, but we also done a lot in the community. This was a suit drive with the Dallas Mavericks. Last week, we did a Beyond the Game Dream Lab to show youth the opportunities with sports outside of being a player. We supported a school being built in Ghana. We fed the homeless. So these guys are doing a lot of great work in the community and also abroad, right? And for some odd reason, Black women, they decided that it was their time to shine to shame Black men. So hopefully you guys understand why I'm showing this stuff, because nothing's going to, ever be enough for Black women. And I remember I asked this question a while back, like what level do Black men need to reach? And it was kind of me being facetious, but what level do Black men need to reach in order for Black women to get in line and start to follow our lead? And nobody really had an answer, but this is one of these examples as to say that nothing will ever be enough. So I say this to Black men, you guys just do what you need to do, and don't have it in your mind that you're doing it for Black women. And don't even have it in your mind that you're doing or you're bettering yourself for the Black community, because it seems like we can't get support from our own people. And it wasn't just Black women. It was Black men on there going in, y'all, this corny, and didn't even do their research. So like I said, Black men, be selfish, become great on your own, and don't have it in the back of your mind that you're doing this to impress Black women. Because if you think that, then you'll never win. I'm going to just tell you that right now. So, maybe it would have been better if all those Black men were lined up and they had their pants sagging and they looked like the Pookie and Ray Rays that these women are getting pregnant by. Maybe that would have caught their attention and they would have been out there trying to support. And granted, let me give credit to the Black women who did support those Black men that did the suit drive. Kudos to Black Menswear. But yeah, Black men, don't ever have it in your mind that you're trying to get to a certain level to appease Black women, because it'll never be enough. And this situation right here was a prime example of that. If you feel some type of way as a Black woman, then why don't you talk to your fellow Black women? Don't come over here trying to talk to me, because you guys see the proof. I'm at a low tolerance level when I have any Black women in my comment section saying anything about Black men where you are not actively involved in trying to repair the Black woman's ethnic image. You don't have that right anymore. No Black woman has that right to come on my platform anymore to talk about what Black men need to do. I was open to it for a little bit to have the conversation, but not anymore. Until I see you guys doing the work and start talking to your fellow Black women, then you can start coming over here and telling us, hey, I think it would be best if, you do this for Black women because we're trying to better ourselves in this right. No. Until then, you don't have that right. Sorry. Because the situations like this, don't blame me, blame your sisters.
How can I be sure that you'll be right for me? You say you'll die for me. Will you survive for me? Yeah.
Go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teej Hanley, and support the Medium Man YouTube channel, and also support Teej Hanley.